Are we on the air? Are we on the air? I gotta get in. Give me a second. Trying to anoint everything that's around me to activate it. Everything likes a little anointing. Okay, I can't reach everything. CBD oil, just CBD lotion for your potion. Oh my God, that really smells really wonderful. It really does. All right, let me see if I can hit this. I can search the universe and the galaxy of stars, but I'd never find one who is lovely as you are, because I'm spaced out over you. I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm hitting you with that dramatics. All right, let's clear it. Let's clear it. Let's give it out too. Ooh, it's coming in strong. Let's give it out. That's fun. There we go. All right, just doesn't want to play tonight. That's all right. We don't think any less of it. Sometimes shit just don't want to play. All right, arm's starting to hurt. I get just as much enjoyment out of playing this as I do playing shooting baskets. It's just this is heavy as hell. Well, those, or for those who have never checked me out, my name is Big Pontiac, and this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. And I am holder of the sacred, infinite ball game created by the Hero Twins. I am also your funky daddy-o, sitting on my funky, nasty, have fun patio, welcoming each and every chocolate mountaineer on this galaxy platform. So just sit back and dig as you all enjoy and hear the ramblings of an old man from the church of what's happening right now. So I did not forget, I'm sending that energy out of the blue Argonite. And tonight we are still hanging with copper water. I'm not giving a commercial for the bottled water. So pop them if you got them. And we still got the Yukon Wolf Evolve Plus XL if you need XL. But I've had Bong Ale tonight. So we not hitting that mug. So smoke them if you want them for sure. How is everybody tonight? How is everybody? Okay. He says I'm breaking up. And a little static. Okay, I can cure the static. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Can't make the static go away. All right. That should be a little better. Now lagging, I don't know if I have to restart it. Okay. Well, let's see who's in the galaxy with me tonight. CWE, how you doing, man? KD was point shaving, losing the ball. Oh yeah, one time, a couple times caught him, definitely point shaving. Yeah. Well, thank you for letting me know. I hope it's better. Some nights I don't even know if it's my system. Hey, King Kang. Hey, B Brown. Just passed. Hey, Key, what's happening? Valerie, nice to hear from you. Scripted game winners for sure. But I made money. I made a little money tonight. Okay, thank you, SD. Thank you, Valerie. I tried to you say Boston. Yeah, I it's better. Okay. I'll tell you've got to really look at that last. That's why you have to look at the whole sequence. So the sequence before, we see Kyrie taking them, hitting a three, a deep three. Oh, okay. Hitting a deep three on them. And then you're telling me the next time down, they can't get a shot off. Nobody comes to set a pick. That's what I was looking. I was like, look at all these dudes just standing around. KD standing around. Nobody's setting no back pick. Nobody's doing anything but letting him get double teamed without flashing. And if you, this is how you, when you break film down, which is a great way to kind of break it down. When you show it slow, you see the hesitation even better. Because dudes should be sharp and running the offense. They've been through this before. They see he's getting double teamed. Either you quick flash and you got a guy that's going to back cut. That's just the proper way you would attack it. You see the cuts from the double team are hesitated. And then KD had him with his left, and They was calling some bunko calls in the first half. Tatum charged, and they didn't call that call. That was a definitely charge. Didn't call that one. But you see where we know Smart will hold, and we see him holding a bit. But this is what you have to understand. You feel the dude holding you. Kyrie is one of the best, because if you're taking somebody to your right and they are so hard going to their left that they got to hold you up, boom, behind your back, you done left them. Because to hold you and move with you at the same time, they're a little off balance, even if they're making contact. The moment you feel contact, you throw the ball behind your back and you get by them. We see Durant going hard left. And I mean, I'm glad they lost, because I won some money. I told you last night, I mentioned this. I said, we just saw when we see the home team won the majority of the games, but today I was like pretty sure today was going to be all home teams. That's why I made that video. I said, look like all the home teams going to win, because you just saw how it was kind of lined up. They line it up the same. But then KD has him beat left and doesn't go left. Nobody sets a pick. Nobody did anything else but wait on them two dudes. So when you see this, you know that it's scripted. And then there's Lobo show. Lobo show. Dude didn't even cut, Dark. Tatum is your man. He is their main go-to. And you don't follow him? I mean, it was just KD dribbling the circle. Celtics are a better team. Nets will lose because Kyrie stepped on Lucky last year. Well, he was giving everybody the finger too. So I was rewatching Training Day last night, and I forgot how stupid that movie is. Stupidest movie ever. Oh man, Training Day is, come on, that's like even Scarface. You know, you seeing agents. Training Day, like, yeah, it makes no sense. Kyrie dribbling the circle. I mean, Training Day, what gangster, seasoned gangster, thinks just because you get somebody high and you can incriminate him for getting high, you show him your whole organization? Who does that? Who does that? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Yeah, it's the stupidest. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Saying I'm the King Kong. All home teams, yep. Hey, King Kane, what's happening? Usually when players hit clutch shots at the end to go up 3, they usually win the game. Definitely. Giannis overpassed KD. That's a good point. I thought the Nets would play Miami first round. That would have been a tougher matchup for Miami. Yeah. Hey, Marcus the Great. You think the Celtics will beat the Nets? I still want to see how the scenario plays out. I would say with what Kyrie went through today, what Kyrie did today, I don't see how he's not going to get fined. I mean, that's on television too, and we have a lot of children. I mean, children watch basketball, and yeah. So we'll see. He's going to definitely get fined, but what is fine to them, and they can write it off. You know, that's what Barkley got done. Barkley took him to court, and they had to let him. They had to let them write off their fines on taxes. So you think they care about fines? They do not care about fines like that. Better for me. So. Yeah, we'll see. Him and the dude says, let me get his wallet first. Can't get his wallet. They got that dude in the bathtub ready to kill him. And dude says, let me get his wallet. But can't you get his wallet after you kill him? Exactly. Yeah, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Just one game series not over yet. No, it's not. Hey, Lorenzo, what's going on? But I was surprised that the Nets were put such a big underdog. I would agree with you, SD. Looks like bookies saying Celtics will win. That's a good point. Nets are the big bad villains of the East. They are. And I just don't think this is the year they're going to let them through. And conveniently, the girl he saves from getting raped somehow, the dude's cousin. Yes, in a big city like that. Exactly. Miami looked okay. They got some calls too. Cavs should be playing Celtics right now. I am correct. Nets should have never been in. Yeah, Nets really shouldn't have been in. I agree too. That the Nets shouldn't have been in. They're messing something over there. It was entertaining, and that's their point, is to make it more and more entertaining, and it was that. But script wise, you can't tell me one play you can break people down, the next play because they're playing better D, you can't break people down, and they do what you want them to do, because you make moves on what you want them to do, because it's just like running a route on somebody. There's setup moves. That's why I would always come off the ball like I was sprinting. Even when I had to block, I always came off the ball hard. I mean, we could have had so many touchdowns if the quarterback just checked and just lofted us the ball. I would run 30 yards every play. Block, unless I had to block and my man just kept running with me, I would just run 30 yards every play. We were in such great shape and announcers, it was just funny. You would see the announcers talking about, why don't they just throw the ball to them? Because if every time you sprint down there, every time they got to react. So we was clearing them out, because the other receivers, because I started doing it, other receivers started doing it. Me and Frank would run the shit out of them, and they just never would just throw it to us. And then our quarterback didn't really he just had a gun. How you feel about Minnesota? Edwards is balling. I was talking about Edwards all the time. He's killing them, D still. What's happening? Edwards can go, man. I mean, Edwards been playing like that all season. But I said, and I'll say this, he'll kill him for 10, 11 games, and then it'd be 2-3 games where he barely show up. So I know that's all in the skid. He did get banged up a little bit. But for the Nets, what is it, 30 games you got to play? You can turn it on. This is the time to turn it on. And so under the big stage, he kind of showing people that he can bring it. He is a hard force to deal with, and he helps. I mean, he's the first option. I don't know if y'all noticed, it ain't Towns, it's him. It's him. They run the offense through him. That's why they learned from Michael Jordan and others that let them bring the ball up, because that takes too much energy for one man. And then they work it through him. Watch the offense. They have Towns coming up picking for him. And then they'll run the screen, the screen roll with them two. And then sometimes Towns just slides out. And you got to go with Towns because he shoots so well. And Russell as well. I mean, Russell brings it up. Russell dish. He's shooting a lot better. Long guy. So, I mean, for the script, they look good. Now, is this their year? Definitely not. But for the script, they look good. Playoffs, you can't put Cavs in it. YLC playing the finals for me. I'm still sticking with James Harden being Oscar Robertson. I could be wrong, but that's what it appears. It appears like he's going to beat Oscar Robertson with Jabbar. That's what it appears. I just think the number, I still think it's going to be him and the Warriors, another Wilt thing, because even though they don't give Wilt Nets going to the finals, I don't know. It's going to be a hard battle up. I just don't see it. Really should get swept. That team is terrible. There's no reason for there to be 2 seats. That's bad scripting. Well, they go on Ja. They go on Ja to taking them. What's my plan for 420? I don't know. 420 is my son's birthday. My son turns 27. He's a Hitler baby. I know last live stream I said Celtics beating Nets. That's until I seen the seeding. It got to be a 4 versus 7 matchup. I see the 4 seed 76ers versus the 7 in the Eastern Finals. 4-7. Okay. Cannabis. I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna have some cannabis. Dr. J tribute. Ben Simmons comes back and shocks Philly. That's a possibility. Well, thank you, SD. That is a possibility, CWE. The Dr. J tribute. trying to just match all the teams. Where did the Virginia Squires come in? It later turned into the Carolina Cougars. Matching Dr. J up all the way. Possibly. He won a championship for both teams. I just don't. I'll have to really think about that one a little more. Let me think about that one a little more, because that might be some merit to that. That might be. Let me make a note and kind of look that up. Let me look at some things. Okay, and Super John Williams were 14 for the Nets that season. So there was Super John Williams, rest in peace, Super John Williams. Larry Keaton, Dr. K, Billy Pultz, the Whopper they called him. Trying to think who else on that team. Yeah, let me go through some of the players and see what I start matching up. But I still think it's going to be more of a Wilt one. Kevin Durant's jersey 7. NBA, remember the NBA's first championship came in 47. Yeah. Nets versus Sixers. Okay, yeah. Kevin Durant's jersey number 7 makes serve the 7th seed. Oh, okay. It's going to be up somehow. I can't use them. I can't see them playing Miami Warriors, Suns, Boston parlay. That makes sense. That would be the greatest script in sports history after all that slander on Simmons for him to bounce Philly in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to be that terrific coming back, though. KD is number 7. That seems fishy. They 7 seed too. Looks like Philly is going to make quick work of the Raptors. Oh, no doubt about that. KD was get a 7th conference final. Tatiana, how have you heard of Nature Boy? Yeah, I heard of it. Got no opinion on that. Tobacco. Okay. Yeah, I got no opinion on him. I mean, yeah, whatever. Whatever with him. I had no opinion, and nothing I really would think about. The Rim looks to be manipulating more shots in the playoffs. Well, generally they pick it up. Again, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money on the line. Philly gonna get it, give it to take the. Okay. As homie say, dudes forgot that Cat sacrificed his whole family for the COVID agenda. When they going to push Zion, probably not till next year. Miami turned to win it without a doubt. Just wondering, due to his recent arrest, all is well. Okay, yeah, once I got to do with anything that is in my consciousness, I don't never spout anything about that brother. I hope. I don't know if he harmed or not harmed. I know sometimes people get falsely arrested, but don't really have an opinion on that. What little I know about him, it's not. I don't see where our teachings would even be the same, I guess. But yeah, all is smooth. Philly can beat the Heat. I say so too. I said Miami wins it all without Dwayne Wade. No, I don't see that. I definitely don't see that. I still think. Now, I did say last night, and I'll say this: Barkley, Barkley kind of thing. So Philly and the Suns. Now, and that's the only way I could see the Suns possibly winning, if it's a Barkley ritual, if they're giving him, because Barkley never won it. But I always say the same thing. It's hard for teams that haven't won it. It's really hard. They prefer to make the champions. And under the circumstances of Toronto, yes, and Dallas, I think And the Heat, in the last 20 years, those are the only three. Is there more teams that hadn't won it before? Those three at least. Yeah. So could be the Barkley thing, but what has Barkley given up to get that? That's how I look at, like, if I look at Philly and the Suns, I say, what is Barkley given up to get this? He really hasn't given up anything. He is the highest paid TV announcer. So just don't see them giving that to him. Don't see them giving that to him. But that's what, I mean, if we see that in the finals, I still say, if we saw that, I would still say it would be Philly. It would be Philly. Because I just think that Oscar Robertson thing, and then and Oscar Robertson's giving that look of shame they're showing. I think this is what they're doing this year. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Chicago, Utah, MJ ritual. I don't think they're going to push Chicago that far. Not this year. James Harden will never, ever win a chip along with Chris Paul. Hey, Crazy SARS, thank you. That is really kind of you, man. Drew, is Ben Simmons going to become a shooter? That's what they said when he dunked. There's like, when they showed him dunking, it's like, yeah, you didn't do it. You see Wade Easter picks? Yeah, I did. D Still, how you doing? I said, yeah, D Still, I saw the Easter picks. It's just more than ridiculous. More than ridiculous. But, Wade got on Tuesday nights, and Wade got the game show. So the Magnets will help Simmons. Oh, they could have always helped him. I mean, they helped Giannis. They definitely could have helped him. So it's a script with him too. It's a script. James, I've said that before. They both the lovable losers. But Harding wearing number 1 makes me pause. It really does. It makes me think that this might be that Jabbar, Oscar Robertson, 1 championship. It might be. Just might be. Yeah, I don't see them pushing Utah. Not this year. Barkley said Miami played hard and smart. What's your opinion on? Where is that supposed to be? Is that Israel? Man, I think my opinion is known. The male wants number 1. Ben Simmons is shooting threes in practice. The Magnets. That's always been there. That's always been there. Ritual Miami to win the championship. Ritual from Miami. I don't know. DeSantos will probably knock that out. I don't think they're trying to do him any favors to give him any extra money. I think shaming LeBron this year because he hasn't given up his mama yet. That's a good point. KD's grandma passed away during the All-Star game. Yeah, I remember that. I just don't think that's going to be enough. Well, my opinion on if that's what that is, I really don't know. I mean, I can't really see it. But there's a book. Watch Ancestral Production, okay? This would be the perfect time. Watch his latest show. And there's a book called The International Jew. Look that book up. But look up Ancestral Productions work, his latest work, and it's Ancestral Production. Look up his latest work. And then there's a book by Henry Ford, which I've come across this book years ago, even in high school. It said Greenfield Village isn't far from. And that book, The International Jew. Look that book up. I mean, we're talking about different things, but look that book up. Hey, Dred, how you doing, man? I finally wrote a note. Did you see the Hyundai commercial? The beginning of the commercial had the Europeans as caveman, and they talk about not speaking English. I said they talk about it. Exactly. Yes, I did notice that too. Again, trying to make people that weren't ancient. And what is a caveman? I mean, Nick Cannon said, there was people living in the caves or kept in the caves, and they got mad at him. But they make themselves be the caveman still. Remember the Geico commercials where they had the Neanderthals? Why are they popularizing it if they ain't saying that that's part of them? But the same thing, they call that cavemen. They called Fred Flintstone a caveman. So, yeah. But yeah, I scoped that out too. Well, that's Lucy. Lucy. Lucy's touching Lucy. We gave you, the European woman gave the spark of life to the chip person, I guess. Because that ain't where we come from. The melanated people wasn't no animal like that. That's made up shit. So, I mean, I think Steph is 30% skill, 70% manipulation. Well, Drew, I'll never say dudes can't hoop. I'm never going to say dudes can't hoop. Dudes can hoop. They can hoop. So I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm saying there's no skill at all, because there is skill. But as I said before, the Globetrotters hoop too. The Globetrotters hoop too. And a lot of them dudes can hoop really good. As I've said many times, I had a friend that put 50 on them and still lost. He still lost. So these skills learn the script, just like the wrestlers, just like the boxers. That there are some boxing matches where they let them go at it. I'll even say, looking at the Buster Douglas Mike Tyson fight, it seemed like at some point they both had to fight. Now, I know makeup can do a great job, but as I talked about last night with Joe Frazier, look at his face. You can't fake making Ali jaw this big. You can't fake that. His jaw was like this big, but Joe Frazier's whole face was like clay face. I mean, it was just, but Ali jaw was like out to here because he had got hit on it so much. So sometimes they let these mugs fight. Rocky Marciano, shoot. Ezra Childs had cut him right here. That's what the Rocky movie did. His shit was cut like this. And when they cut it like that, they usually let them. He slit his eye. He was all cut up here. He had slit his eye socket. So at some points, you got to get hit. Their history. Okay. That's all. I remember when KD sacrificed his brother and won his first ring. The biggest sacrifice that nothing ever happened was Isaiah Thomas. Remember, Isaiah Thomas' sister died in a Lexus. It's got it's got airbags everywhere. What was that called? The Wesley Snipes movie where Sylvester Stallone, where they unfroze them both. Meteor Man, maybe that was called. Remember when his car crashed and they put him in foam? Crashing in Lexuses is like that. I think she hit a bridge or something, swerved off, or even hit a telephone pole. Even front-on crashes, they got everything that's coming at you in the Lexus. And yet she dies in this car. And nothing came about him. He had a decent playoff run, but that was it. So that was one thing that, and when that happened to him, I was like, watch out for him, man. But he's about to explode. That was one sacrifice that we saw nothing come of it. So the little success he had, do you see what he had to give? He didn't hardly have any success other than one season. KD will meet the Nets 46 NBA season 46-year drought. Okay. It's so easy. A caveman can do it. Exactly. Hey, what's good, Lobo? What's good? I love what you showed of KD not guarding his man. We were just talking about that. And KD did not guard his man. But that was the plan. I'm like, who was he doubling? Why aren't you in your man's face? I even wonder, play zone. Extend it and play matchup zone. You can't be in the lane, so you're still close to your man. I didn't understand that either. Oh, they're too good to play zone. Since when? Since when are anybody too good to where you can play zone against them? I thought that too. But they don't, and it's so much easier. And then you're trapping. But KD, you are guarding their best player, and you're just going to not show any effort. So it was a script that we see. Celtics Sixers, Eastern Conference Finals. I got Celtics winning. No, not me. I'm still gonna say it's the Wilt thing. I'm gonna look a little more in this Barkley, but I'm looking at all the names and it's not adding up. Hey, Mr. Lamborghini Langlock, Thank you. Thank you. Someone say NBA is CGI. You know, I'm going to say this about that. I'm going to say this about that. I still don't understand the players sitting on the bench and the big board coming up. I don't understand dudes who are constantly on TV obsessed because they are shown on the big board. I don't understand that. What is when you're constantly playing on national TV, why does it matter that you're on the big board? Why is it worth the glance up? I don't get that either. And that's the only thing that makes me wonder about that, because they do it to everybody does it. If a player is not playing and he's sitting on the bench and he sees it, because you see it, it's be multiple screens and all of them. Oh, I'm on national TV. But haven't you been on national TV your whole career? So that's the only thing that makes me pause about that. I was like, why? Players are on the same script. Oh, of course they are. They in their ears about it. They in their ears. You know, look at what is his name? Smith, J.R. Smith. From his actions, he was clearly told. He was clearly told, you got to rebound. Take it out. Let's waste time. We got the game. That's what he was told. You can see from his reaction. He was told not to take it up. You push somebody to get in position, and then you don't take it up. He was told. He pushed him to get that in position, and he was told not to shoot. He was told, we won, take it out. Oh, Marcus the Great, he was like, oh, blowed out. But as we talked about, we was like wondering, was it Valerie the one saying the clone? Hey, Dr. Sinister, how you doing? Was it Valerie saying? Because I still don't understand when he dropped his mouthpiece, how he didn't protect himself. That was very unnatural. The falling of the mouthpiece was very unnatural and damn near cost him the fight. But that was unnatural. As we said, he was rusty. I mean, Keith, what is his name? Not Keith. It's not Keith Thurman. Maybe Keith Thurman, maybe. Yeah, you could tell, and as fighters get hit, he got hit a lot by Keith Thurman. And it seemed like he's more vulnerable, but older and taking punches and getting thrown off a car. But that was weird, following the mouthpiece and not protecting himself. But Dr. Sinister, how you doing? Buster Douglas sacrifices mama right before beating Tyson. Oh, yeah. That was one of the most bloodthirsty ones ever. Now, they had to force him to go to the fight. He didn't, because he was closer to his daddy was in his ear training him. And I think he just fired his dad too. So it was like a whole big change for him. And when I saw Mike Tyson fight Bone Crusher Smith, and Bone Crusher Smith hit him with a straight right, and Tyson said it felt like his head went inside of his neck. But right then I was like, a bigger dude can hit him. And I don't know if people really are boxing fans. Far as even boxing styles and studying dudes, Tyson made a lot of mistakes. He was off balance a lot. It's funny. What is his name that does the boxing things? The modern martial artist. He never points that out about Tyson. He shows his drills and stuff. But even when he had the first dude who trained, Kevin Rooney, maybe, he still made a lot of mistakes. He was still off balance. He was vulnerable to being hit. And as I said, that fight where the dude flies off the ropes, that fight was totally fixed. That fight was totally fixed. And you look at some of them knockouts, he ain't hitting them dudes. But that fight where the dude bounces off the net ropes, because he practices that move. If you watch that whole sequence, he steps back the same way. Tyson makes a feint, and this dude makes that jump back like he did when he bounced off the ropes. And then as he turns to the ropes, he does it again. It was like he anticipated doing it then, and Tyson didn't come through with it. So he had practiced, like, if I'm hit, I'm going back. And what do you see? The very next sequence, when they square off, so he does this on this side. Then they move around the ring, and he gets to the near the other ropes, and Tyson makes a punch, and the dude takes the punch and bounces himself off the ropes and goes down. So look at some of that stuff too. So now Douglas's thing where he had Tony Tucker beat, and they say he quit. So it was something there. He might have been told to quit because he had Tony Tucker. He had him beat on points, and he just like gave up. That's how they put it. It's like, well, you lose this one, we gonna give you a chance to win the championship. It almost looked like that when he fought Tony Tucker. So it isn't a big superstar. Isaiah Thomas was on Nickelodeon after that. It was like saying, what's his name on the Lakers was on, he was on Disney. The big, tall, goofy dude. Had me cracking up when he said these 2K glitches. Definitely. The two Brooklyn defenders tried to contest a Marcus Smart three-pointer. Exactly. You double teaming where dude didn't have to be double teams. Our Clippers threat with and Kawhi healthy? I don't know. They don't seem to stay healthy. The Tatum game winner. Oh, it looked totally scripted. Yeah, they just let him shoot. Exactly. Says they use something new called pitch cam. Pitchers and catchers can talk to each other now. Yeah, they put that in the spring games. Yeah, they put that in the spring games, and they voted on it before the season started, and they're going to continue it. Because, they're saying because of the sign stealing. Mike Trout hit a home run off Darvish, and we know Darvish, when he played for the LA and LA lost, I don't remember who they lost to, but when the Dodgers lost, then Darvish gave up all them hits and home runs, and they were like, they were saying tipping pitches. So it's the same thing. So it's a better way to script a game. Only time I can see a player looking at the big board to review on replay. Exactly. Oh, yes, that was me. Okay. Oh, yeah, that was you. I thought so. Three-pointer was manipulated. I am surprised you didn't make a video about it. It hit the tip of the rim and bounced to the back. You know what? I didn't see that. When I watch the game, I'll be doing so much more, be watching the game, and the game was kind of boring. But, yeah, I missed that. Yeah. How we know the best fighter is they all was scripted. That's a point too. All of Ali's fights were scripted. Not to say he didn't have skill, because he did have skill. And another way they scripted is like Adrian Peterson missing that season. It made him old. Boxers the same way. Time. Ali was so far ahead in skill that, like, if Joe Frazier would have fought Ali in 68, he would have never had a chance. No one. Ali probably would have easily broke Rocky's record. Them 4 years, because it's more 4 years till he really fought. But his skill level was so superior that only time could catch up to him. And by the time catching up to him, it made him have to fight older. But Ali was so vain, even in that other scenario where they didn't take the 4 years away from him, he was still fought till he was old because he was vain. He was still fought older because that's what all of them do. All of them try to still feel that thing. And again, they get talked into it. I didn't know Spence had Jamaican ancestors. See, they get to know how they make us on the mainland and then the islands to look much alike compared to the Africans. To show how much us on the mainland and them on the islands look alike, unlike Africans. That's a good point. He's been having problems with the mouthpiece, and he plans on getting a new one for his next fight. That's the second mouthpiece issue for him. Thank you for that. I did not know that. But it seemed like you'd have practiced with it. So they said, I thought the only new thing they wore was the shorts. I didn't know they had to have a new mouthpiece too. It seemed like you'd already have one, you used to. Lennox Lewis was underrated. He was another cat that really couldn't really take a punch either. If he would have fought Tyson if Tyson didn't go to jail, same with Holyfield. There was no way before Tyson went to jail that Holyfield would have had a chance. No way. Skill level, no way. He could have pressed him. He could not have pressed him. Even after Tyson goes to jail, what does Holyfield do? Headbutt. And it was allowed. Miles Lane, you know, he's dead now, old judge. But letting Holyfield headbutt. So I don't know. He didn't see the best Tyson. Professionals make basic mistakes. The fans make the classic excuse, well, they're professionals and they're allowed to make that mistake because they know what they're doing. Oh, that's in the, okay. I was wondering what they're doing. I know what they're doing. Hey, James, put your money on the Nets for game 2. Hey, Nico, thank you for joining. It makes sense since for the second seed Celtics and fourth seed Sixers, like 24, Kobe Richard will play in the Eastern Coast Finals. Kobe last finals was against Boston. Oh, good share. B Brown. Nets don't really play organized basketball, and the Celtics have great defense. So I got Celtics in 7. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Kobe was from Philly. Not really. He went to high school there, but he wasn't really from there. His daddy was playing there. There was one of Mike Tyson's knockouts where he pointed at his opponent to let him know he's going to punch him. After that punch, his opponent went down. Yeah, that don't surprise me, Lorenzo. It's like giving the running back the thumbs up for the fumble that people have caught. People have also mentioned that to me. And you see some hand signs be like they give hand signs. You've seen dudes and then dude like makes a hand sign and the dude fumbles. I mean, that's how they used to do it, I think, before earbuds. They had certain hand signs to make certain plays. So, like when all Cleveland had to do, Ernest Byers, I think was his name. He was on the 1.5 yard line, yet he gets stripped. None of this. He just keeps it here. And all of a sudden, that whole season, Denver's taught to poke it out. But you're on the 1 yard line for the money, and you're going to be that nonchalant to just keep it in one hand. Where Cleveland was about to step into the Super Bowl. And then he fumbles on the half-yard line. So that wasn't convinced that it's scripted. Jackie Robinson, 75 years ago for Brooklyn. 75 years later, Brooklyn Nets could win the NBA 75th. I don't know. I don't think it's in the cards for them. We'll see if they do let what's his name play. We'll see if that makes a difference. Robert Williams didn't play. I got Celtics too. That's right, he didn't. You're right. Kevin Durant won't have a bad shooting night next game. That's excuse. Hey, James, I don't give him no excuses. Tyson hyped himself up to fight Lewis, but in reality, he didn't want to box anyone. I mean, plus he had lost that edge too. He had lost that edge, and you just saw with Buster Douglas. That was my thing of getting into Buster Douglas. You just saw he always was going to have problems with bigger dudes that could hit. That was going to be his downfall. Bigger dudes that could hit. In some way, Holyfield kind of matched that, even though Holyfield hit and headbutt. But bigger dudes that hit was going to always give him a problem, no matter how low he got. I mean, there's very few fighters that was really able to solve that kind of thing, being able to and have to be in to catch people. You know, you've got to really be like that bending. There's a lot of dudes. Henry Armstrong was one that could really bend at the waist like that and didn't ever take punishment. But Tyson, to be effective, he had to get close. He had no real jab game. So when you saw him going in the ring with no robe and stuff, you saw what kind of show he was what they was trying to make him out to be. And what was that? Did he really have some kind of hair problem? What did they call it? They said Will's wife had it. Is that what he had? Remember, looked like somebody just zoop. Alopecia, did he have that alopecia too? Because remember, he would go in there and he would have a gap in his hair. And I remember my dad was like, yeah, well, he has alopecia. I'm like, that don't look like that to me. That looked like somebody messed his hair up. Somebody that messed his hair up. So I don't know. like the Russian brothers. You see how they do. They wanted Rockies. That's all Tyson Fury is. They want a Rocky. The great hype. So, but I'll tell you this. One thing I like about Fury's movements and angles. I mean, he's pretty crooked, but his skill level really is. I mean, going back watching him fight the Russian or the Ukrainian, that he showed like a lot of skill in that fight. That I like watching that fight over and over again because the angles that he'll bring punches from, the movement, the feigning. If you're a real student of boxing, you appreciate some things that he does. You really appreciate. Even like when he took that knockdown, he kind of saw it at the last minute. I think if he wouldn't have reacted, because if you look how he went down, he saw it at the last minute that didn't knock him out. Again, it was probably scripted to be a draw, but I would think a second less of seeing that punch, he would have probably got knocked out on that punch, but enough to kind of get a little bit go with it. But he's fun to watch, no doubt. He's fun to watch. It's like they both went out in shame. Watched that bout at my auntie's house back in 2002. It was like Larry Holmes beat up Ali. Both bouts showed the end of two great boxers. There you go. There you go. Yeah. That made no sense for Ali to fight that fight, but they were, as I said last night, they were so afraid of Ali, they shot him. And, they shot him with that stuff, which he thought was vitamins, but it wasn't. And it's probably how he got, Parkinson or whatever he has. It probably, they were that afraid of him. And that took away him speaking. That's why when I met him, let me see, my son had to be 5 at the oldest. So 02. Because his son, I can't think of his youngest adopted son. Him and Lonnie adopted a son, and they played at one of the AAU games. It was interesting. It was a small, hot gym, and it was like packed because he was there. And as I've said before, I've been around Jordan, how he be with people. Ali took every picture. He signed every autograph. And this was back when 02, they were saying he couldn't talk, but he was speaking to people. He was kind of, a loud whisper, but still talking. It wasn't like he wasn't talking. He was talking. And I just wanted to shake his hand. I didn't get his autograph. And I had my son, but my son was like, we should have got his autograph. But generous to the last person, And these children walking up to him, never saw him fight. No way. They were too young. He's 02. Like my son, only heard about him, watch him later, but very gracious in that regard. Like they both went out in shame. Good point. I like the video. Oh, thank you, Black Trunks. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. KD's career high, 55 points this season. KD has 55 regular season games played this season. This is the Nets' 55th season of existence. Yeah, 67. Yeah, 67. Brooklyn's last professional championship in 55. Brooklyn Dodgers. Good breakdown. Thank you. Tyson Fury would not have lost in the 90s. He is a Tuesday night fighter in USA type of fighter in the 90s. He's fun to watch. I mean, he's crooked. He can't fight in England for cheating. Don't know that he needed to cheat in that last fight. Dude, just, one trick pony. You got to load up. But I think he's still the number one contender. So I think he is still the number one contender, but he was always pretty much a one trick pony. And he started older too. And that's another knock on him, is he started, I think the first time I read about him when Sports Illustrated, I think still has magazines, but yeah, that wasn't that long ago. So he started at 27, 28. That's kind of old for a fighter. Guys are stronger now. Guys stay in shape longer, but I don't know. It's still kind of old for a fighter. So not surprised the way he flamed out. It takes a big brain. Crazy how they did Haskins. It takes a big brain to find out this information. Yeah, I mean, it, it, it well, I mean, a curiosity too of wanting to read. As I said, Ancestor Production throws some stuff out there, and just it's the PDF was free little book, and so I was breezing through it, and it's now like when I was reading about Tecumseh and even Pontiac, I labor to see our destruction and the sadness. You know how Moore always says it starts with a gentle sadness, and I get such a sadness reading how they divided the tribes the same way the people are divided today. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. The same deceit, the same divide and conquer still. And it was even worse. It's like we care only about ourselves and what I can gain. I don't really care about our people. It's like not my problem that they attacking you is not my problem. They can attack you all they want, not realizing that it is all of our problems. Not realizing that it's all of our problems. And as I said, they've attacked people without the liquor, just like they attacked people with the crack. It was the same thing, and all people were affected. I think, as all working class people were affected. As I told the story about a dude named Johnny. Johnny, I met Johnny in before my son was born. So I met Johnny in 86, 87. His brother and his nephew was two of my best friends at one time. And Johnny in 87 was probably making $40 an hour working at Post. No doubt. He was probably making at least $40 an hour. Weekends, double that. Holidays, triple that. And Johnny was making great money. But Johnny became an addict and gave it all up. And he had been there like 14, 15 years, and crack destroyed him. So here's a man, and his life was never, even though he made that money, he had never really, you could see he had made a lot of bad decisions. Matter of fact, my friend Junior, who's Rick's father, this is Johnny's brother, Johnny slept with Junior's wife, ex-wife, Rick's mother. And he didn't really have much when I met him. He was renting, not buying, even though he's making all this money. So despite making all that money, matter of fact, I don't think he ever had a car when I knew him. I don't think he ever had a car. But despite that, he made good money. But he threw it all away. And Post did everything. Post sent him to rehab and all that. And his payout was giant. But like, again, when you a fiend, and it was dudes this is how gone his mind was. He was like, when he got all this money, he was just, he rented a room and he was just paying these dudes. He's like, go get me this, go get me that. And he said, go get him 8 balls. So they would just get they would get dope, and then he would buy really all of it. And they would just keep charging him for dope they had bought off his money already. I mean, that's how gone he was. And that's how quick they took his money. But Stephen Curry, a lot of commercials. He really is. That's why I'm definitely still, notice Ali got loved by the mainstream once he got the Parkinson's. That silenced him when Ali was young. Brass used to give the Europeans hell. He did. They hated him. Really, there was a lot of hate for him. There was a lot of hate for Ali because the war was going on and he was anti-war. Stephen Curry, Steph's in everything. Steph is almost replacing Barkley. If you really look at the way they do it, remember NCAA tournament, Barkley was in everything. Could that be another prelude? Philly Suns, but that was only for the college thing. And Barkley's team got knocked out. But now Steph seems to take that place. So that's kind of makes you think that they might push him. And they've been giving him a little bit all year too. There's a Brooklyn shooting near Barclay Center area. Nets donated to the victims. Well, they're trying to gun control again. Curry sold out for his magnetics. Oh, no doubt about that. Greatest script ever. Have KD beat his former team Warriors in the finals. Yeah, I still don't see them going. I really don't see them letting the Nets go. But Curry, definitely. I really think that they'll. I don't think it's going to be the Suns. I think it is going to be still the Warriors. Yeah. And you noticed last night how much they was like, Clay's back. You could see he was forcing it, but he's back. Okay. But I'll say, if you watch Clay, Clay has hustled. No knife? All these damn knives I got, no knife. Huh. I have to throw a knife over here. Didn't know it wasn't a knife. Interesting. I got knives everywhere. You know, Kevin Hart was talking about he would put knives on different places. I know a dude that did that with pistols. Like, I'd be walking out the house with him. He's like, you know, he'd tell me to wait. He's like, check this out. Somebody ever rushed me? I got a pistol in here. That was what I was thinking. I was thinking about what Dana had said, because Dana had guns everywhere like that. And the funny thing, he took care of VA patients, but he got these guns everywhere. I'm like, what are you going to do when these patients get these guns? He's like, oh, they ain't going to touch my guns. I'm like, what if they do, though? These is mentally, you know. That was funny. Draymond will eat his words. Greatest. We'll see. Warriors going to the finals? I think so. I told a guy that had a heavy drug addiction, because you have a good paying job doesn't mean it stop your addiction. It does nothing but increase it, which it did to him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. And I'll say it goes the other way. Heroin really wasn't a problem for the GM employees in the 60s. As again, you can be a functional heroin addict. You can be a functional heroin addict. You ain't got to be sick. You ain't got to die from it. As long as you get pure, clean heroin, you can be functional. I watched the dude be functional. I watched the dude, and far as it looked like to me, he only got high on the weekends. Now, maybe Wednesday, I don't know. I can't say. I never saw that. And this dude worked hard every day. And he lived with me like 3-4 months, and never during the week did I ever see him slack off. So he wasn't never acting sick. And then the weekend, he would shoot up all weekend. So, but just looking at the history of the people in Detroit and the amount of people that were heroin addicts, they had to be functioning, working in these factories, still being functioning. Now, there were some people that did crack, did cocaine, and still it didn't destroy them. I did see people like that. I did see people that continued their jobs, and I knew a lot of people like that too. As you have the drop-off stories, I can tell you people that was able to function with that shit too. And just like Lorenzo said, had the money, and that stuff didn't destroy them. I saw dudes who hustled, not, even though they got high on their own supply, they still was able to keep it going. He said, I think Lorenzo said his guy, Johnny died. Johnny and Junior both died. Like, they found Junior. It was kind of sad. They found Junior, like, I think Junior would think he was starting to OD and would just come outside. And so, yeah, they found Junior like naked in front of his house, where he must have like thought walking, and for some reason he was naked, but they found him dead outside in front of the house on the sidewalk. And Junior was so funny. Brian would always, because Junior's son was named Rick, and Rick was always with me, and it was sad with Rick too. Rick in life, like Rick did something. I think Rick had to kill somebody in prison. I don't know the whole story. Rick did something. They never told me what put him there, but he was only supposed to get 4 years. And then when he got in prison, apparently killed somebody and got life. So sad, because I loved Rick. Rick was such a good young guy that we hooped all the time. Yeah. And it's like, people in Kalamazoo knew Rick because Rick grew up in Battle Creek, but like, I would take him to Kalamazoo with. It was funny. He wouldn't play with better people in Battle Creek, but we'd go to Kalamazoo. He'd play against anybody. So if I would take him to the gym with me, he would play, and he knew people. But it was funny, when I would play with the better people in Battle Creek, I don't know if it was a mental thing for him, he wouldn't play with them. Like, he wouldn't go down to the park with me and play summer leagues and stuff like that. But yet we'd go to Kalamazoo, he'd play all day. So I never understood that. But what were you saying before about not being buried in a box? Not being buried in a box? Oh, yeah. A coffin is a lock. I mean, really, the whole process of taking all your fluids out, taking your organs out, it's all a way to kill you spiritually. Embalming come back, that's, you can look that up. That comes from the Civil War. That was a promise of the Civil War. So after your son get killed in the Civil War, especially, he just got shot to make him look like what you remembered him look like. That's all embalming was. It was a gimmick to make them people money, to use them chemicals. And now it's the standard thing, and it's got 8 sides. I mean, look at your doors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, look at your doors. Count all the corners. Them corners is locks, and that's to lock you in. That's to lock your spirit in. So if it don't, if your spirit ain't taken by them, you know, taking all these fluids out and then putting that chemical in what's left, if that ain't killing you spiritually, you know, putting you in that box is definitely meant to hold you in spiritually. Why do you think they say there's spirits out there? Because there's ways to get out of that too, but it's a type of lock. Even putting you with the rest of the dead is a lock. But yeah, Johnny died. I don't know when he died, but he died. And him and Junior was older than me. They was probably shit. Junior definitely was old as my mom. Yeah, he would have been old as my mom. He was probably, Junior and Johnny was both probably 20 years older than me, at least. Because Rick was less than 10 years younger than me. Like when Rick was a senior, I was only, when Rick was a senior in high school, I was probably only 24, 25. So we wasn't, so they was in their 30s or 40s, you know, the whole time I knew Rick and Junior and Johnny. Rick was younger, but not them two dudes. Laker fans watching the playoffs, I don't blame them. If Nets get bounced, I am watching the playoffs either. I am never doing drugs unless it's medication drugs. I don't blame you. You know, I don't say it to glorify it. No. You know, and that's the thing. It's like you have to really see what's for you and what's not for you, and don't let any outside influences make you try things or do things that you don't feel is you. And if you don't drink, there's no problem with that. Hey. So you have to do what's your world. That's all. You have to do what's in the world for you and what makes you feel good. If just living you feel good with that, there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody will knock you for that. So yeah, don't do things. Just, you know, I definitely ain't here to influence anybody. You know, as I said, I'm perfectly imperfect. So, but I just try to tell, you know, a part of the story. Have you ever started bleeding after hitting your foot, but you didn't notice it? Yeah, I've done that before too. I've like I've said before, I burnt my toes, you know, when I was young. But yeah, I've stepped on shit and I've stubbed my toe and busted the shit out of my toe, you know. Yeah, and then take off my sock and my sock bloody. Yeah, I've had that be happening. Yep. A girl that I used to date, her dad did ice, but he can still function like a regular person. That's because he had a near-death experience while doing that stuff. So he limits the amount he does. As I said, I knew women that shot heroin, and I knew a lot of people that shot heroin, no problem. I mean, I preferred selling that because the people didn't bother you. You know, you could really time when they would come you. It was never, you know, heroin was never because we would get I would get the black tar, and you gotta process that into like it turns into when you cut it, it turns into it starts like really like putty almost, but like an oily little putty, because you know opium is little black balls, and so it's very similar to that, little purer though than the opium. And you have to turn it into like this brown powder. There's stuff you put to it, and it turns it into like a brown powder. And it's like $10 is like a mag. If you look at that measurement, what a mag is, it's like a salt shaker little bit. It's interesting the way they do that. And you know, put it in the little balloons, but like a mag, a mag. But yeah, the people are easier to deal with because they ain't knocking on your door every day. They've been doing it the whole left. They're doing it this whole life. Your gig is victimology. Okay, Donnie. Your gig is victimology. That's funny, Donnie. Daniel, excuse me. Okay. I guess it is. China White. Oh yeah, China White too. That's my my father-in-law. He was always talking about China White. And then we used to get that what was that shit called? Peruvian flake. We used to get some shit called Peruvian flake, and it sheen. It was like sheen. You cut this shit up, and like it's like the way crystal meth will cut up. If you see it like that, uh, it would be like that. It would look like little. The light would hit it, and it looked like crystals. But even the keys, the sheets of the keys, like when you take off a little slice of it, it was just funny how it just the sheen of it. Yeah. We ain't even talking nothing deemed as controversial, but some how the trolls want to pop their heads in. Oh yeah, because I'll be giving it to them. I've watched the thing and I'll be giving it to him. So ain't no thing. If he need to be kicked out, he can be kicked out. I don't know who's the victim, who I'm saying victimology. Damn, I need those connections. Oh man, that was we used to get that out of New York. Yeah, I used to have I wasn't just Miami dude. I had dudes in New York. Went to college with guys in New York too. So it was like not just Miami all the time, New York too. Can't really say I hustled out to California. Not really. Later, yeah. We went out there. We ended up doing business out there because I told this story before. We took Janie out there, and we was able to hook Janie up with an escort thing, and we made some money. And Janie was a smoker, and so we was able to hustle out there. But that was the only time. Didn't really need to go out to California, at all. But yeah, that stuff. Ooh, back in the day, that stuff. Yeah. And then we used to get this yellow stuff that we used to, and the people loved the yellow crack. That was odd. But it was yellow. As I said before, you cut up keys and it'd be having that little butter, that part. But the whole key would be like yellow. You saw him big injury, Scotty Barnes. Was it on purpose? I don't think so. But he did kind of. I don't know, because he had the ball right when he was driving and he stepped. So Embiid had the ball. So yeah, I ran that back a couple times. It's hard for me to look at that because I'm an empath, and when I see players get hurt, I'll feel it. So it's hard for me to watch. I don't know because the way they were stepping so quick, it's not like when a person jumps up and you put your foot under there. Like Kobe broke his foot, Jalen Rose broke Kobe Bryant's foot like that. Kobe shot up, and Kobe, how they hurt Kawhi like that. So I don't think so. What Maxwell say? Notice how the Nets Celtics game Wednesday, not Tuesday. Looks like they're giving Simmons time to come back. Well, they've been showing him too. So that makes you wonder. Oh, I've been going an hour. Damn. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know who the victims would be that I'm talking about. Who is the victims? I mean, if you're an elitist, we all victims. If you're not elitist, we all victims. So the working people is slaves. I mean, that's that thing of what is it? The old goodbye, Uncle Thomas. The working people are still slaves. There's no way to get about it. Unless you own the business, you a slave to it. You really are. You helping somebody else achieve financial freedom, modestly. And now $20 an hour ain't nothing with inflation. So that's victim, that's saying we're victims. No, that's reality. They begged all these workers to come back because they was going to raise their pay. But you see, the trick is, in the slavery part is, okay, we raised the prices of everything. And we see the propaganda again overseas. Same propaganda. Remember the first time they was nailing the people in the house? It's the same type of propaganda. It's staying colder longer here. Staying colder longer. We should be in the 60s. It's cold. It snowed today. I think my ride still got snow on it. I damn near parked in the garage tonight. I just don't know if the new ride will fit in the garage. I haven't tried it, so it ain't hurting nothing sitting out there anyway. But I mean, the wind is howling. We even had these, so these is realities. These are realities that's affecting everybody. Everything costs more. Now, again, I don't celebrate Easter. I'm not a Catholic or a Christian for that matter, but I don't really celebrate it anymore. If you did, that's you. you know, as I've said, American God show, the divine feminine. This is a celebration of the divine feminine. They took that away. It's something gloomy, you know, something gloomy. Let me see. See if I can do this without knocking stuff down on how you look at spiritual things. Let's see this. Ah, here we go. I should be able to find this pretty quick. Just on how they do things and how you have to look at it. Yeah, I probably can't even spell this shit right now. Here we go. Page 45. And I probably should have showed this last night, but I'll show it now. Not there. This is 45. Maybe. Huh. There's not a picture of it right here. They talk about it, and they tell what it is, but the picture ain't here. Well, bummer, because it is in here, but oh well, I'll move on. I don't have to obsess with it. That's odd, though. But I was just trying to show example of how things are supposed to be religious and ain't spiritual. Oh, maybe it's in this part. I think these are just cards. No, it might still be in here. It's got the Knights Templar, so maybe it's in this part. Bear with me, as DeMarco say. Bear with me, bear with me. Yeah, maybe. There's a picture of this crap in here. Oh well. Oh well. I'll have to sign up. But I was just going to show the crucifix. Because the crucifix, I mean, there's no way you can look at that and think that's spiritual. That is dread in every way, as in dreadful. There's nothing spiritual or going to unlock anything from that. I mean, like this. This is what we all live under, right here. That's what we pretty much, the Holy See, the Document of Discovery, Columbia, manifest destiny. We live under that. The Holy See, we live under that. And there's nothing, looking at that, there's nothing at all spiritual about it. I mean, like the inverted cross here. Didn't Peter say he wasn't good enough, so he had to be inverted? That tells you right there what they worship. Right there. He felt unworthy of being crucified the same way. No, that's just a story. That's ritual. That is ritual why he did it that way. Had nothing to do with unworthy. They showing you right there what they practice. And so a lot of these things are religious, but religion ain't spiritual. And like even this symbol, this is what kills me about this symbol. This symbol ain't old. This was created in the 1800s. You know, it was made in the 1800s. So, Hey, Samuel, what's happening? Pulling the rabbit out of the hat. Magic tricks used to deceive. There you go. Sunday Pelicans play Sunday, but Suns Pelicans is Tuesday, Wednesday. Just okay. Good vibes. Thank you, Brother Samuel. All is smooth. That's Sikhism. That's our holy cross. Punjab people from India. It's called Khanda. Look it up online. Okay. Okay. Well, same thing as It's like they want to later say Quetzalcoatl's got a cross. I don't think I don't have the codex in here, and I don't think I have a copy of Quetzalcoatl's cross. It's in Bodacious, I think it's called, but I don't think. Well, maybe I do. I'm in the D's. Let's see. Let's see. I don't think I have Quetzalcoatl's cross in here though. In this book, I don't think he touches on that. But yeah, it really doesn't. Let's see if about Quetzalcoatl. Maybe it's a picture with that in here. Maybe not. Maybe I can use this. No, not really. Well, let's see. Now it's just a calendar. Kind of could, but not really what I'm looking for. Not really what I'm looking for. Really doesn't show it. And I'll try to bring it when I come back next week. But yeah, I don't know if he touches in Quetzalcoatl, but it's like that's why when they came into South America, it wasn't unknown. It wasn't unknown to them when they saw the cross because they did the cross like this, as in motion. That's how the South Americans did their cross this way, which shows, the foundation directional. And the cross is nothing but directions. I mean, that's really what it's showing you. No, it's not in here for as far as that cross. And I know it's not in the codex I got next to me because that's older. Oh, well, that's an older version. Thought maybe perhaps it was in here, but because I know it's not in the Dresden. It's not in here. They don't really use that. This is older. This is almost connected to the Omen or Olmec. This book is almost connected to them. It's that old. They don't really know how old this is. They just know it's more modern Mayan than Omen. So how long have I been going? Okay. Wow. Hey, Jody. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jody. Are we living in a larger time, just moving faster? Are we really living longer, or just time moving faster? As I said before, it does seem like they slowed time down. During the crack era, it does seem like that. And some of that goes into the cosmic blocking of energy from the deep central suns. Some of the bigger stars feeding us energy. So that's very possible, very possible. And from 12, again, they didn't want us to get those downloads. So they're trying to do anything to stop us from getting the downloads. They didn't know what to expect from 12, where if you just studied the Mayan calendar, you really know it's just the end of a cycle. They were scared of the end of the cycle, what might happen. And so as time being slowed down, they would have had to speed it back up. So they would have had to. It just seems like the moments go by faster. And it's not because I'm older, but the moments appear to go by faster. I'll say that. But how you doing, Jody? I didn't say it. So thank you for joining me tonight on this late night. I'm not going to go too much longer, but I might as well stay up. I'm pretty buzzed. I ain't really got, I got to go therapy tomorrow. And it's supposed to freaking snow and rain tomorrow. It's all right, though. I got raincoats. And I got shoes I can wear in the rain. I say I gotta go outside in the rain. It may sound crazy, but gotta go outside in the rain. Once the rain starts falling on my face, I know that I couldn't be in a better place. Hit you with the dramatics again. It's 60s love music. Does religious do more good than harm? As I said before, just like with demons, demons can do good work sometimes. Same with religion. They got to work sometimes. I mean, they just can't always have the negative, even though they're trying to suck the life off of everything, financially, physically, all that. You feeding something you don't understand. So it can work. But again, you have people that are blindly going into something. So when people blindly go into something, they'll fall for really anything. And I mean this, any kind of, give you a prime example. Maybe her name was the One Divineness or anything. I can't remember. Maybe that was her name that I had on last summer. But she was saying the way she perceived when she would call Metatron in, she perceived him coming in. She explained what she perceived. And what she explained is the same communication I get from crystals. She was saying where the different colors come in, and I'm thinking, I've got crystals that'll do that. I've got crystals when they say hello, show that same kind of formation. So I'm just listening. But so I'm not saying all her experiences, you can say offhand, aren't real because they're real to her. But from what my looking at that ain't what she think it is. Now, if it works for her, whatever she applies it to, and she's able to help people, right on, right on. And I don't think she's hurting people. That's just her interpretation. And if it's positive for her and it's positive for everybody, then see, she can use that energy and maybe she'll never be affected negatively by it. Because of that aspect of that, there is some positive to it. But religion in itself is about believing in something blindly. Now, again, she's not believing in something blindly because she's experiencing it. She's experiencing it. So that from that thing. But if you don't really, and she's a spiritual person, but for a lot of religious people, they don't want them to be spiritual. They only want the preacher to be spiritual so he can interpret for you. I mean, it's a business though. Religion are all pretty much set up as businesses. I would say the only time I didn't really feel like it was a business. Now, when I used to go to Black or Nation of Islam, I always thought that was a business. I never thought that was spiritual. But when I went to Greensboro and used to just go to where the Sunnis had the prayers, I always felt that felt less like a business. It felt like there was some spiritualism in it. Didn't all just feel like the same kind of business. That felt more welcoming. So, but to believe in anything blindly makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. That's why I say knowing and being enough in the moment can help bring that out to you. So, Kabbalist scriptures, Metatron, the cube from his soul, Metatron, also known as Yahweh. Could be, yeah, could be. And I don't remember if that was the one. That was the only thing came to mind. I don't know if she uses that. I can't remember. So you can experience this stuff yourself is the point. You open up to God in you. Because that's what it is. I mean, everything you see around you is part of you too. That's the thing. We're made up as the same thing as trees. And again, a tree don't call itself a tree. This stuff's got its own name, its own vibration that it'll tell you what it is. So those are the kind of things to experience. As I was saying, everybody can meditate. Everybody can get into the breathing. And all these things take off the fog. And that's, you want to remove as much fog from your brain as possible. That's why sometimes I don't drink, because I understand, I understand that drinking that spirit. I understand that. There's times I have to stay away. I like drinking beer too much. I do. I like the taste. I could drink it every day just because I like the way it tastes. But it's alcohol in it too. So, I take days where I don't drink. And there's days where I drink and there's days where I don't. But I try to be in control of it. I try to say, okay, enjoy beer today. Yeah. But you try to keep your mind clear and you try to see what comes in for you. That's what I try to show people, is what spiritually comes into you when you close your eyes, you breathe, what world opens up for you. And then that could be your path. Red Sox World Series. I don't think so, SD. I don't know. I don't study it enough. I don't study it enough to know. I guess as the season goes on, I'll start trying to find it, but yeah, can't really say. Don't really know who they have. So this is what I try to show, that it's the possibilities. It's like the same with the stones. It's possibilities. The same with the divination in the cards. Just possibilities. So to me, we should pay close attention to the pastors say they were called to preach the word. Well, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't really be a business. It's a business. I mean, how can anyone teach you really how to be spiritual? You don't need to go through that to be spiritual. Early morning game. little bit. Twins versus Red Sox is starting a little over 8 hours. Really? I don't think they're going to play. I don't know. It's supposed to rain and snow tomorrow. What's up, Sean? Thank you for joining. I don't know. It's raining and snowing here. I don't think they're going to play. I'll be surprised they play tomorrow. It's supposed to snow in the morning too. So if they playing, what is it, about 2 now? 2 Central? No, how long I've been going on? So 1:30. So what is it, 1:30 in the morning? Red Sox lead series 2-1. Okay. Oh, we playing there probably. I don't imagine them playing here. Playing there. So we need each one of you. You find out, what your calling and what your path is, and then that's how you learn it. And then it is practice. I mean, there's no doubt it's practice. I meditate almost every day. Now, I didn't meditate today, but almost every day I meditate. So we were talking about earlier, have our nose in the books to see the possibilities. Same with these stones, you read the possibilities. I mean, some of these books you read and I read, we might not get the same thing out of it. But it might give different possibilities to each one of us. And so that's what you go by, is what possibility came to you. How did you use it? Were you able to define what you felt? And how was you able to build on what you felt? So you guys in winter? Yeah, we still in winter. We are definitely still in winter. It is 33 degrees and snowing and raining. No one can show you enlightenment. You must find it yourself, indeed. Did you decode NHL? Not yet. I'm pretty sure the Wild lost today. I am pretty sure, because they was up and they scored 2 quick goals and then gave up a power play goal. They had the power play and gave up a goal, which they let allowed. And I almost made a video about that, because one of the LA San Antonio Sharks clearly hooked the dude. Clearly hooked him. He fell down and that caused the turnover. And even the breakaway looked, and they got Fury back there. Come on, everybody beats Fury. So they got Fury. They've been having injuries all year with a different goalie, so they brought Fury in. Everybody beats Fury. Yeah, when I quit watching the game, it was 4-3. So I'm pretty sure they lost. And I didn't go nowhere, so I don't know what I had to do. I had to maybe take a shower or something, so I quit watching the game. Because even if I don't go nowhere, I still don't know how the jokers don't take a shower because you don't go nowhere. That joker lived with me. He'll not go nowhere and won't take showers. I had to get on him. One day he was smelling like be damn, and they smell like be damn, and like the shit where your skin starts smelling sour. Like, dude, St. Louis is good. Yeah. Oh, they beat them 5-4. Oh, I missed the overtime game. Oh, I could have worn the jersey tonight. Okay, they beat them. Thank you. because it was 4-3 when I quit watching. So they end up coming back. Good. They needed that. Good, because they're above the wild card right now. What would that win? Yeah. I'll say this quantifier. I really don't break down the hockey as much. I don't know the players as well. So really hard for me to break down a lot of that in baseball. Well, you can see the mistakes in hockey too, but I don't even really know all the players in baseball, but I understand the script a little easier to break down some of the script and the history. I know the history better in baseball because I've just been a baseball fan my whole life. So it's easier for me to break that down. I ain't followed hockey like that. Not really. My whole I've been a hockey fan since a boy, but far as players other than the top names. But I'll tell you, like Gretzky, when they call Gretzky the Michael Jordan of hockey, definitely. He was a phenomenon. Like no one's really played as well or as fast as he's played. And if they wouldn't have broke his back, and you talking about you want to see somebody that they injured on purpose, look at that Gretzky hit. It used to be on YouTube where he's just up against the wall and he just the dude hits him and breaks his back. That was the only way they could slow him down. I think they won 5 in a row when he was with Edmonton. You know, Edmonton was one of the world hockey leagues. So I know a little bit, but not enough to break hockey down. Not really. I won't catch all the cues for that. We need more baseball and hockey videos. Yeah, I don't watch enough. Baseball, kind of, yeah. Everyone knows NBA now. Ovechkin is going to pass Gretzky in goals. Yeah, I think you're right about that. And they gave him his title, which was the same thing. Now, that was one thing you could see, and I think I pointed that out, because when Washington came into the league in 78 or 79 or 80, one of those years, they went to the championship as being a first-year franchise, and they lost the championship. So what does Vegas do? What did the Golden Knights do? Again, to make the Golden Knights popular, Golden Knights, their first season, play in the hockey championship and lose to the Capitals. And that was Ovechkin. Ovechkin was the lovable loser, too. We can say that. Ovechkin was the lovable loser, too. Capitals had the Eagles as a logo. Have the eagle as a logo. And the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And then the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Does polished sugarite work for purifying water? Yeah. If I had a spoon, I'd show you. I got a piece of royal sugarite. Now, let me see. Yeah, I think this is a piece. Maybe the sides ain't polished, but yeah. But this ain't royal sugarite, but this is polished, but not royal. I would say if you was going to put any sugarite in your water, get royal sugarite. And you can get medium-sized pieces too. Like a lot of people, like my Russian dude is really into these. He's into the really raw pieces. And most all of them have the quartzite in them, the quartz and pyrite in them. I don't know if that'll show, but you can see the little flakes. So this is one type you can use, but in this one, I have both types. I have a little piece of royal. Well, maybe I'll drink all the water. I have to wash it after I take it out. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Try not to drip. Probably needs to be wiped off anyway, but this is a piece of royal sugarite. So if you can get a piece that, you know, I mean, you can compare the two. And I know this is wet, so it'll be a little shinier, but let me get over here. See the difference between the two? See how one's, you know, not polished and this is polished. So this one costs a little more. Do what I saw my son. He was eating chicken before I could give him a napkin. He sat there and wiped it on his pants. I'm like, that's something I would think your 10-year-old sister would do. So yeah, you can use it too. live stream in the Twins game. 24-hour stream live, stream the Twins game. Okay. Okay. I'm definitely going to see, since I didn't make it to see any baseball games or basketball games, I'm going to definitely try to see the Twins play. Because it's fun. It's what is it? $1 hot dogs, $1 beers on Wednesday, especially for afternoon games. That is a smooth way to do. And I get to catch the train. I would catch the train into by US Bank, and then I would catch the bus to the Twin Stadium. We'll have to catch a few hood buses, not many, like catch one to come up. No, I would take the train to dang near. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I could catch it directly to the stadium. So yeah, I could catch it. I could catch the train. I could take the train, and the train would take me. I would switch trains, and it's a train that would take me right behind the stadium. Yeah, so I could go park at the Mall of America, and catch the train there. Take the train all the way downtown, and to go watch the Twins, and could get buzzed as I want. Get buzzed as I want, and go in there and watch the Twins play. The game is in Boston. You should stream the game. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right. It'll be on. If the Twins is on, they'll show it here. They'll show it here too. The Twins have a decent team. Yeah, I noticed that, and better pitching. Even though they got rid of Barrios, better pitching too. What is it? 141. Well, I think I'm a cut it short tonight. This is my Friday, so I will not be back on until Thursday morning. But I will be doing Responsible Daddy Hour tomorrow. So if it's any games or stuff, we'll probably go over games. Because I know the Timberwolves don't play till Tuesday. So, but there are games tomorrow. So maybe, but now I'm not going to be on tomorrow. Unless I'm on somebody's panel like I did last week. All right. So today card is Chichan. Serpent. The common Mayan name is the serpent. Qualities: vitality, passion, sensing, body wisdom, motivation, desire, instinct, creativity. Serpent, kundalini, integration, purification, intimacy, patterns that connects or the connector. Symbol: coiled snake arising from the molten maga or the base chakra. Number 5, center. Color is red-orange. It says flaming vermilion, red-orange. Herbs is cayenne. Flowers are poppies. Flower essence is flame of the forest. The scent is musk. This doesn't smell bad. Stones are carnelian, fire agate, coral, or orange citrine. I don't think I've ever seen orange citrine. Its earth element. Direction is from the east. Shadow wisdom, unresolved anger, making predictable choices based on familiarity and security rather than intuitive wisdom. Over-identification with the body and its sensual desires. But the way you can transform it is use the body as a tool for transformation. Learn how to use passion and the senses as a means of access and alignment to a higher consciousness. Follow your gut-level intuition and instincts to make the choices in the moment. The harmonic wisdom is tempo, mandra, hands together, interweaving. Let me see if I can understand this. So, hands together at the abdomen. Oh, and so you're going to just do like this. We used to do a dance like that. So you're just doing like this. You start here, and you're doing like that while saying, I am joyful and access and experience the wisdom and vitality held in my body. And you can also say, I am the flint and the tinder of the sacred fire. So let me see, was there something yeah, I do want to say this. Okay, yeah, I want to say this. So Ancestral Production gave the book The International Jew. Now, I want to hit people to this if you have ever had this. And this tells you some books be enchanted. And even though this was an ebook, there was enchanting in it. But I'll say this. Sometimes when you go in these books and try to get this information, there'll be voices that can come in and tell you, try to stop you from getting the information. Be distracting little voices. So this book had that kind of thing where I had to keep canceling it, canceling it, canceling it. So you can run into that, especially if it's really new and it might open you up to things. I mean, really give you some good information. You can run into that. So be kind of mindful of that. And if you like are reading something that you really are interested, it's going to help you in some way, and you start getting all these weird messages, remember that's coming from this. That's they've put something in that book to distract you, so you don't extract the information. They want you to be distracted, but not. They do not want you to extract what's in there. So be aware of that, because I was like getting hit. I was like, oh, so y'all really don't want people to get this stuff. As I was reading, I was like, where is this coming from? And I was like, this is coming out of this. So be mindful of that and don't let it stop you. Remember, cancel that is perfect for thoughts that you don't think are yours. And that's the other thing is be mindful of your thoughts compared to things that come in. I mean, be very mindful of that, because that is so easy to throw you off. As these are not your thoughts and you're getting hit with them and you don't know where, because you can get attachments. As I said, I turned into the fire spirit, and once I dive into the primal waters, my next move is to be the fire spirit. And so every day I want to burn off anything. I ignite, and by that igniting, I'm burning off anything that does not do me well. So it's a kind of good practice. Anyone can do that. You just ignite yourself and burn that off of you. So wanted to put that out there. Was there one more thing? They said this though. I want to put this about hooping. Check this out. They said the Nets and the Celtics have played in 3 different series, and the Nets have won all 3 series. So this would be the 4th series. I did take note of that. Yeah, the Nets and Celtics have played 3 series, and the Nets have won every series from the Celtics. That would make me think the Celtics would win. And I guess in closing, I'll say this is something I didn't mention, what Ancestor Production says. And this is so true. Israel is the biggest welfare state. Israel couldn't exist without America. Not only that, as I said before, they gave Israel was given so much money. Now, Ancestor Production said we got $600. They got $5,000. No. They got so much money that was put in when they gave you 1,400 that the amount equaled to the population was like 50 million per person. That is how much money Israel got during the pandemic. They got what was equal to 50 million per person in Israel. And they sweating you about getting $1,400. So he said 5,000, but yeah, they got, I mean, again, the government got, but that's what it equaled to. That's what it equaled to. So I think that was it that I didn't bring up. But yeah, check out Ancestral Production. Oh, and I want to say this. Oh, yes. I am going to be on tomorrow. I forgot about that. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you, Sly, so much for putting on the Wake Up Radio tube. Thank you for putting that on, because I was on a year ago and I couldn't figure out how to get back on, but I'm back on. So it's OTW, I think, on the Wake Up. Yeah, on the Wake Up YouTube. So on the Wake Up Radio. So I'm going to be putting some information on that. I redid my account again. So I'm going to be putting information on that as well. So it's on the Wake Up Radio or OTW tube, on the Wake Up Radio tube, basically. So, yeah. So I am going to do some shows over on that. So when I come back Thursday or Responsible Daddy Hour, I might talk a little bit more about that, but I will be going and starting doing content on that. So thank you, Sly. Thank you, Sydney, for putting that extra little bit on how to join, because that helped me. So I signed up today. They saw I signed up. So I'm going to start putting content over there too. So, yeah. So, yeah. Be putting content on that. So I'm kind of excited to start that. and be more involved with that. So definitely going to do that. So I might be under my regular name, B Macon. I don't think it's going to be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just know my username. So B Macon. So BMACON. As you see up here, that is my name. My real name is Brian. I don't have no problems with people knowing my name. I ain't left. I lived in the same place for 5 years. That's my name. What's my motherfucking name? What's my, so, you know, you can find me on Facebook under Brian Toby Macon, even though I ain't published nothing. I don't get suckered into Facebook anymore. Yeah, there's strong spells on Facebook for sure. Very strong spells. And they try to, I mean, what is the odds that you see 10 women in the same pose? Right now, it's like people talking about I did a thing. So that comes from Biden. You see one woman showing her legs, all of a sudden you see 50 women showing their legs. You see the type of spells you find on Facebook. This is the kind of shit you'll see. So I'm gonna give everybody clothes, give you that wear Jaguar energy, that energy of transformation, that energy of the divine, strong feminine. Give it to you. Coming at ya. I didn't know I had to get ya. Yes, we give you the roar. Facts. Facebook is pure evil. Oh yeah, it's definitely evilness in that. Definitely evilness in that. So we're gonna give you that. And as I close out, you know, I give Mora. And, you know, I'm thankful for this spot. I'm thankful for the people that come in, and, you know, for whenever you watch it, for especially thankful for the people that support the channel. I thank you so much. Thank you for you just tuning in. I do appreciate that. And I try to give my best and be the most sincere as I can. That's why I give the gifts, because I do give freely. I mean, this is a small business, but I also do give freely. More, it all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew that they had exact numbers of years and days before it would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent, which is our Milky Way. So they knew how to manipulate this system, because it could be just as mental that you could go through it. You don't need a toaster oven, as Quantum Conscious calls it. And remember, as you dealing with everyone watching me, as you deal with people, just remember, I am another yourself. You know, make that come in. As you deal with people, I am another yourself. And as you rest tonight, you know, do not let them fool you and think that you are in your coffin or known as a bed. Know that as you rest well tonight, that everything that you put in your house that does protect you will protect you tonight. And may you rest peacefully as you're in your creation ball field, or even terrace, however you want to look at it. But may everything in your house that spiritually protects you works tonight and every night. But may it work specifically tonight as we go into this Monday morning. And then those of you that are going through the week, may the week be smooth for you. But tonight, may you be protected. However, whatever goes, may you go peacefully into your dream screen and let nothing bother you. And in closing, remember, love just is. Oh, thank you, Barbara. That is so nice of you. Thank you, Barbara. That is so nice of you. I really appreciate it. That is too kind. And so remember, I am another yourself. And remember, in closing, love just is. Just is. Can't make it be nothing but what that love just is. And so me as little shorty leave you tonight. Me and little shorty leave you tonight. As we say, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I'm your host, Big Pontiac. Till we meet again, say less, y'all.